What's up, y'all? It's Stacey and Asia. We back with another reaction video. Today, y'all, we got Just Lou. This video is very long. I had to break it into two. You know, she's giving her side of the story between her and Tay. If you have not been keeping up with, Lou and Tay's situation, the videos are on our channel. You can go and check those out now. Let's get into it. Look at that face.
Firstly, I'd like to extend an apology to all of TTG for having to be here in this capacity. To all of TTG for all of the drama. Pardon me. To all of anybody, even if you're not TTG, if you were affected by this situation. It is very unfortunate that I am here like this. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be here like this. However, I'm not going to drag on because I have a lot to say. I apologize about all of this drama. I am here because I've been...
Babe, you grabbed the remote and still didn't turn the TV off.
I did
Crazy.
not even remember why I
Crazy.
grabbed her.
Crazy. I'm sitting here like the TV still on. I look over, you sitting there with the remote.
My hand has been forced. I am here to defend myself and to defend myself only. I'm not here to do anything other than defend the narrative that has been put out about me. This is not my style. I would have chosen not to have done this. I was moving on quite lovely. I thought things were good, but I guess that is not the case, and that is fine because now I get an opportunity to tell my truth. Here we are. I'm not going to hold you up because I have a lot to say, and I do have receipts. And I think that word is so corny. Receipts, I have receipts, I have receipts. But that's what y'all want to call it. I have these receipts, and I will be putting these in the end of this video. And the reason why I will be putting that at the end of this video is because in order for you guys to understand my receipts, or even to understand what you guys saw that was posted of me, you must understand everything from the beginning. And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and give you guys detail from detail to detail to detail of my 6-year relationship with this woman. I think I've given you guys enough of that. Very much so. However, I
agree.
Try to shed some light on the nature of our relationship,
Okay.
on the nature of what it was, because it was completely what you guys didn't, it was not what you guys thought it was.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump right into it. I went on a first date with Tay. The first date was absolutely lovely. We both really, really liked each other. After we separated from the date, she called me, I called her, whoever did what. We decided, hey, we want to see each other again. She invited me to come see her again. This time it was at her house. The first place was at a restaurant. This time it was at a house. Is this recording? Just making sure. Perfect. It was at her house. So, of course, I came. I believe it was the very next day, but it could have been 2 days later. However, it was either 1 or 2 days later. I come to Tay's house. I enter her house. And when I tell you guys, I kid you not, I never left that house again without her. And what I'm saying right now would make sense. Just give me a moment. I moved in on the spot. Now, granted, when I came in right then, no, I wasn't coming in to move in. However, what happened was I came in that night. I never left. We pretty much did the grown-up for a month straight. For a month straight. We were completely obsessed with each other for a month straight. We weren't eating. We weren't doing anything. I've said this before on this on the Tay and Lou YouTube channel. You guys know the drill. We were completely entwined with each other for a month straight. Not giving ourselves a chance to see each other or to get to know each other or anything like that. It was completely sexual and infatuation.
Okay.
For a month straight. Finally, I look up a month later. I realize, okay, I'm kind of slacking. I may have looked up a little bit earlier than a month, but I realized I'm kind of slacking because, you guys, I came to her with a job. I was an atmosphere model. So, at that time. So, my job was to go to clubs, make the club look fun, and my housing was secured. But remind you guys, I started staying with Tay. I never left. I literally never left. I came with the clothes on my back and the gifts that I bared for her household. That's all I came with. So I finally was like, you know what? I need to go to work. I'm going to lose my housing. I know I'm liking you a lot, but I have to go to work. She expressed to me I don't want you to leave. And I will not lie. I won't sit here and lie. I expressed to her, I don't want to leave. We did not want to separate. So what did I do? I brought her to work with me. Come on, slugger. Brought her to work with me.
Not come on. Not come on, slugger. You come right along then.
Come on, slugger.
And she said it so calm.
Yeah,
come on, slugger.
I'm gonna use that.
She didn't laugh or nothing.
That was funny right there. I'm gonna use that.
Work with me. Come on, slugger. Brought her to work with me 2 times. After the second time of her coming to work with me, she expressed to me, Lou, I don't want you working there no more. It's too late. There's a whole bunch of drama, and you're here with me every day anyway. We might as well go get all of your stuff from Harlem, and you just bring it in here. You're here every day, anyway. You guys, she didn't have to convince me much. I wanted to be with her. I was blindly trusting her, blindly trusting that she was going to be a good person. Be a good person. That's what I was blindly trusting, that she can be a damn good person. Wow, what a shit show. Anyway, blindly trusting that this girl can be a good person. So I agreed to it. That was my fault. I should have given myself more respect. I should have gone back to my apartment. Listen, all of this I've gone through already, and it really irritates me that I gotta even, anywho, moved in with her. The moment I moved in with her completely, and by this time, all of the sexual activity had slowed down a little bit. It was still going, but it slowed down a little bit, so now we can see each other. This is when I started to see who she really was. So very soon, she started to show her true colors to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the alienation started.
And
this is when the control started.
Real quick, I just want to say, it's not unusual for lesbians to move fast.
At all.
I've moved fast in like a couple of relationships, you know what I'm saying? And then when the end is like, it's like you realize, it's like, nigga, you was moving too, like yeah. Did you really think that was gonna go good? Because, you know what I'm saying, like, it literally happened so quick.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, you start to see the things throughout the relationship that
you should have been noticing.
Darn,
yeah,
I ain't even pay attention to that then. Like, it was all the signs and stuff.
Yep.
Crazy.
And sometimes you do see that stuff in the relationship, but you so hooked on that person, it's like, it ain't that bad. You basically telling yourself, it ain't that bad. I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
You're basically dependent.
Sweeping it under the rug.
You dependent, because if you really wasn't dependent on that person, then you would be like, and not dependent like you need them to live or to feed you, like emotionally dependent. Like,
like
when it's
your
good,
happiness depends on them.
That's that. So it's an addiction.
Yeah, it's like you're addicted to them. Yeah, basically.
Started. This is when the pettiness started. This is when the temper showed, and this is when the fighting started. Most importantly, this is when the fighting started, you guys. Like I told you, we started fighting. If I didn't say that already, we started fighting within a month of our relationship. Our first fight honestly set the tone for our relationship, and after that first fight, we were fighting, if not every day, every other day.
And 6 years?
She shared it with 2 of her exes. I was there with 2 of her exes. I found this out late. However, we were fighting. These women bear witness to these fights.
I'd have been in that situation as well. I was with a girl. She told me she had a roommate. I'm like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. I found out probably, like, a couple months later that they wasn't really a roommate. They was more like, they was exes. That's what I found out. So it's I can't sit here and be like, oh, you should have known better than moving with her exes, because it's possible for a motherfucker to lie to you and be like, yo, this is just my roommate, you know, we cool, you know, we met at college or some shit like that. Yeah. Whole time they used to bone each other.
See, it's slightly easy for when it like a lesbian, like a same-sex relationship, because she could move in with Tay and Tay could be like, yeah, these my homegirls from school, we've been kicking it for a long time, blah blah blah. Now, and nobody really nobody questions that too much, I feel like, unless you the type of person that think that. Like, she might not have been thinking anything extra, like, really, these 2 people. She might just be thinking it. Now, had Tay been in the house with another man, then maybe they would have been like something.
And that's how and this is how foolish it can be, because my situation, there was a guy,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, but I didn't think anything of it because Shawty told, like,
You give
lesbians
people the
lie
benefit of the
all the
doubt.
time about they really be bisexual or don't really be even gay at all, you know what I'm saying. You
Right.
just be like a tester, and the whole time they tell you they lesbian. So I'm like, you know, it's a lot of lesbians who got like brothers
Yeah.
and shit. The whole time I done found, you know, a couple months later, I found out Shawty bi. I found out her and the nigga used to bone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
I feel like that's a manipulative thing because
So it's
you
possible
don't-
for it to happen. I'm not saying I absolutely believe this.
Yeah, I feel like that's a manipulative thing because for you to knowingly move the girl you're interested in the house with two, not one, but two of your exes, and not tell her, what if your exes decided to gang up on her?
Exactly.
And she was trying to
she's
figure
lost
out
his
why.
day. She's lost his day.
I probably would have left right then because
And Tay don't give me the vibes that if her exes tried to gang up on her, she would step in.
right, like I probably would have left right then because I feel like if that's the case, I can't even I don't trust you because you lied about this. So if I leave the house to go to work, what y'all in here doing?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the
And
type of
we ain't
questions.
taking no sides.
No.
We haven't taken nobody's side. If you go watch our video of Tay receipts and what Tay had to say, you will see what we said Lou was wrong and what we agreed with Tay in certain parts. And it's going to be the same in this video. Tay going to be wrong and we going to agree with Lou in certain parts. Either way it go, they both too goddamn old and they both too goddamn wrong.
Right.
And they both need to just take accountability for what both of them did. The part
Facts.
that both of them played.
Exactly.
A lot of people have bear witness to our fights. However, we were living in this house. I apologize, you guys. What I want to do is I want to do a straight run through. However, y'all have to bear with me. I have not gone through these details in a very long time, and I have gotten over this stuff. However, it is very traumatic. However, we were fighting. We were fighting our asses off, pardon my language, within a month. Between the fighting, between the sexual activity, the talks of YouTube started. Honestly, I'm going to digress a little bit, and I'm so sorry, but I want to specify the first fight. I do. So, give me a moment. The first fight, what happened was, Tay was asleep on her bed, and she's going to tell a totally different story, but it is what it is at this point, I guess, is who say whatever. She was laying on her bed to sleep, and I was laying at the foot of her bed. At this time, I did not have a phone. I was using my iPad. You guys, this is very traumatic for me. I have never gotten onto this internet and start crying. I have never gotten onto any of my platforms and just start crying. I'm a reactionary person, and I want y'all to know right now, if y'all ever see some tears from me, just pay them no mind. I was sitting at the edge of that girl bed, and she was asleep, and she was sleep. I could tell she was in REM. However, I was depressed. I've been depressed a very long time about my situation with my daughter, and it is my right not to go down all of that with y'all.
That's
However,
right.
I was at the edge of her bed, and I was on my iPad, and I was crying on the phone with my best friend at the time. I lost my best friend because of a situation with Tay. However, the one I'm speaking about. However, and a decision I made as well. But let me not digress. I'm sitting at the edge of that bed on the phone with my best friend at the time, crying to her, telling her how much I miss my daughter and how much I need to do this and how much I need to do that, how much I miss her. And she starts turning. And when I say she, I mean Tay. And she's huffing a little bit and puffing. Mind you, she's still relatively new to me, so I'm thinking, okay, she's just tossing and turning. She proceeds to get up, tosses the cover off of her, and storms out the room. So I'm like, mind you, I'm mid-cries. I'm deep in my cries. It was late at night. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about my daughter. I didn't want to wake her up, so I called my best friend. I went to the edge of the bed, and I called my best friend. I wasn't going to leave out the house. Why? Because her ex is down this way. Her other ex is down this way. No, I'm going to stay in this room to which I'm allotted, the space to which I'm allotted. So I sat at the edge of the bed. And she got up, tossed the covers off, and stormed out the room. So I saw that. I clearly knew she was bothered by something. But
This is the loudest I have ever heard Lou talk, I think.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of weird because I'm so used to her talking gentle and soft and stuff. So it's kind of weird to see her tone go up a little bit, and for
Yeah.
like her whole demeanor kind of change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I somewhat. Me and you, we about one and the same. I'm a feeler.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm an observer. So even watching like observing how she is, and it's three sides to a story, and like we said, they're both they both are probably, to me, they're both very wrong because you shouldn't have brought it to the internet anyway. But
Well,
I
Tay would be
kinda
more wrong in that one because she brought it to the
right.
Well, they both wrong for bringing the first two videos to the internet, but then
Right.
Tay wrong for stirring all this shit up.
Right. But like, I don't know. I kind of this whatever she talking about now. Like I can see when she mentions her daughter, you hear
You
like
can hear
this
the pain in her voice. Yeah,
So that kind of relates back to
the video.
the video.
Yep.
She's one of them people
Mm-hmm.
where if you probably say her daughter name, that might come.
That's a trigger.
Exactly.
Like we said in the other video, we was like, yes, Lou is wrong for putting her hands on Tay, but Tay is wrong for the way she aggravates the situation because you didn't have to mention her daughter at all in that moment.
Right. And it's not the same.
And now it shows that we, and I'm going to say that we know for a fact, I know out of 6 years, you knew how touchy the subject of her daughter is to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to say that in that moment just proves that you aggravate the situation.
Exactly. And when a person is drunk, they're hypersensitive. They're even more sensitive. So for you to say that probably stirred up a whole nother
can of beans.
So
man.
I mean, it's a natural thing. You already kind of upset about your situation with your child. Now you saying my child name. It might not be in the worst. You might not be saying nothing bad, but you still, saying it like while I'm in this state. Now I'm mad. Now I have to come at you.
Yeah.
If you poke a bear, what is it going to do?
Yep.
Exactly.
I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal. I was thinking, honestly, maybe I am so sorry, y'all. I was thinking maybe something else. Maybe the girl had a nightmare. Or maybe she was going to come in there and tell me to lower my voice a little bit. Because you guys, I wasn't crying or nothing like that. But I was crying. I was making noise and she was asleep. So those are the things that went through my head that could have possibly happened next. That's not what happened next. This Tay proceeds to walk back into her room. Her room, nonetheless, this is her room. Back into the room, storms up to me, snatches my iPad out of my hand and asks me, who am I talking to? Now, you guys,
she would have got snatched across the room.
I don't know this girl yet just too well.
Exactly.
Don't snatch nothing from me.
Maybe some new information or maybe a reminder. I am not, how do I say this without sounding? Listen, everyone's from a different place. Everyone was raised differently.
Yes,
I was raised a certain way.
Yes, ma'am.
And unfortunately, that was an act of aggression to me. And
it is.
No, not unfortunately. That was an act of aggression to me. This girl comes in, rushes up to me, snatches my iPad out my hand before she can act. I wouldn't have mind the who are you talking to question. But where she triggered me, because yet again, that's not the way I was raised.
You see
you
how
not
she
run up
how
on me
mood,
like that, number one. And then number two, you will
how
not
she
take something that is mine out of my hand in a forceful manner. That's just not what's going to happen. That will always put me on the alert. That will always put me into I will go. You should have asked me first. I don't mind answering questions, but what you won't do is aggress me first, because I will finish it. And that is that. She snatched it from out of my hand and asked me who I was talking to. I hopped up. I began to explain to her, because she was new to me. I began to explain to her, like, listen, I'm crying about my daughter. Like, I'm crying about my daughter to my best friend. This girl proceeds to hang up my phone on my best friend, tosses it to the side. I run up on her because I'm trying to stop her from tossing the only daggone form of communication I have with my child, the only form of communication I have with anything, with my friends, my lifeline. She was about to toss it. So I run up on her to get her to not toss my stuff, and the tussle begins, and then the swings begins, and then the fight commences. And it will always happen like that if you ever, and I'm so sorry, this is not me trying to be aggressive. Oh, I'm not saying nothing of the sort. All I'm saying to you is that just doesn't, it's not going to go down like that with me. And it never will. Ever.
I'm sorry, but
that's
valid.
That's valid.
Her statement, I don't know where y'all from, or everybody's from somewhere different. Where she from, she probably be in survivor mode. You run up with aggression, that's the same way with a dog. If you act like you finna get rowdy with a dog gonna bite you. Don't be, you know, everybody
snatching something out, man. We two grown-ups, bro. You ain't finna snatch nothing from me.
You ain't
finna snatch nothing from me.
If you want to get my heart pounding, do something that will make me feel like you treat me like a child.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh, I can feel my blood boiling.
Do not treat me like a child.
I got my blood boiling because I'm putting myself in her shoes.
That's a big hell no.
I can see myself jumping up. Like, who exactly do you think you are?
Yeah.
And it's only been a month, and you think you finna do?
Nah, bro. That's a big. What they call it, pet peeve?
Pet peeve, yeah.
That's a big pet peeve. Don't treat me or talk to me like I'm a child.
Exactly. If you, boy,
sorry guys, I got a little excited there, and
I know I seen it.
Just recanting this stuff. It physically has a physical effect on me. It has a mental effect on me, and it has an emotional effect on me. And I'm sorry that, once again, y'all even have to hear all of this. But I needed y'all to understand what the first fight was, how the first fight started. Because I was just about to go on all willy-nilly like, oh, no, I don't need to say all that. No, I do need to say all that. I'm not about to do that. So that's the details of the first fight. So we were talking about pretty much talks of YouTube. It's been us doing nothing but being intertwined with each other. Literally being intertwined with each other, still fighting. Talks of YouTube come. The first video is dropped January 2017, 16. It's dropped in January. Do the research, please. Look it up.
Okay, somebody.
The entire time, you guys, we're pumping out this content to y'all. Mind you, still fighting, still being mentally controlled, still being mentally abused, still fighting on top of that, still trying to also live in these conditions. And also, I didn't get there yet. I guess that's the next part. Still doing YouTube. Mind you, we're making money off of YouTube at this point. And mind you, in my head, this is a weed thing. We're making money off of YouTube. You guys, behind the scenes, I am not being paid. I can't do anything by myself. I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. Now, granted, whenever she would eat, she would get me food, yes. Whenever she would do this, she would do this with me. You guys, however, it must be a lot of children who think that would suffice a grown person. I need my own money, especially if I'm working for it. You guys, while we were pumping out those YouTube videos to
That's a fact.
We lived in 5 different places. All the while, we're moving around to these 5 different places. These places weren't just places, you guys. The first 3 places that we moved into, they were her exes. The first place that we spent the first beginning time of our relationship, I moved in with her ex and another ex, pretty much 2 of her exes. Well, one of them, she just had, whatever you want to call them, 2 ladies that she dealt with. Did not know that initially, but once I found out, obviously, I was in the fray, and I was rolling with the punches with her. Second place, lived with her for real ex. You guys have heard her talk about this young lady before. This was over a decade ex. And once again, this ex didn't know who I was. She was lied to about who I was, and pretty much Tay had us living in this ex's mother's apartment without her knowing who I was. We did eventually meet. We had to. There was no hiding us. We were living in her mother's apartment, and Tay was trying to hide that for a while. And all the while, like I already told y'all, I was on my P's and Q's every day. I knew I was in a place that someone knew I wasn't. They didn't know who I was, so I was ready every day for anything to pop off. You guys, I'm in the middle of Brooklyn while all of this is going on. No. So with that being said, me and the ex, we finally met. And guys, you know what? All of these exes, I don't know what they have to say to me today. I honestly, with everything going on at this point, anything related to her, I really don't care. However, I formed really close friendships with all of her exes. I formed very close friendships with everyone in her family. I cannot say the same for her and for my friends or any of my family. But anyway, 3 places. First 3 places. 2 people she dealt with, an ex and a person she dealt with. Second person, her for real ex. Third place, we just lived with her mother and her ex. So this was all the exes. You guys, I have no issue with any of this. I absolutely adored these women. These were really wonderful, beautiful women. I adored them all, and they all helped me in ways through dealing with Tay. And I'm not going to put any of that out there. However, all of them helped me, and thank you so much to all of y'all. And I wish I would have taken in more information. However, you guys, all of this time we are working. These last 2 places that we lived together, it was just me and Tay. Seeing as though it was just me and Tay, I would expect that, you know, our relationship would have gotten a little bit better or a little bit anything. No, the relationship didn't change. Our fighting didn't change. Nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. You guys, I never had a key to any residence that I resided in with her. And by the time we lived at these last 2 residences, we were making a lot of money from Tay and Lou. I completely understand not having a key to these 3 because, let's be honest, in this house, we weren't making much Tay and Lou money. In this house, we weren't making much Tay and Lou money. I was not a woman expecting her to give me all her money because Tay didn't quit her job off the break. She was supporting us. She was buying. Only thing I needed was food because, you guys, I'm not a complicated woman. So she was going to work and she was feeding me every day and she housed me. However, that's what everything was set up to do.
My apologies, you guys. I meant set up to be. That was the way it was set up to be. She had me quit my job. She would not want me to get a job. She wanted me to stay in the house to cook, to clean. According to her, I didn't do that too well. However, yeah, that's what I meant. That's the way it was set up to be. In the beginning, I would never expect anyone to just give me all their money. No, I'm meaning give me my money once we started making the Tay and Lou money, not when she was working her job.
So with that being said, I thought things were going to change. I thought our relationship was going to get better. I thought the fighting was going to stop. I thought her temper was going to subside. I thought the controlling behavior was going to change. I thought all of that was going to change, but none of it changed. And you guys, the entire time, I never had a key to any of these residences. Now,
I gotta say that I believe her.
Baby,
I
listen.
believe her.
Listen, I promise you, we're like, I believe we're still neutral in this situation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we don't believe
Either
either
side.
side. Not that we picking a side, we just believe a side more. And my heart of hearts is really leaning towards Lou because I low key can see narcissism in Tay.
But the thing is,
bit.
the reason I'm leaning more so towards Lou is because Tay, all she said was I was abused.
Mm-hmm.
She never said anything other than I was abused. She put out only videos and pictures of Lou hitting her and what Lou did to her.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a full breakdown story on everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I'm being abused. This is what she did to me. And I got videos of her doing it to me. There was never no beginning. How did it start? There was no, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of that. It was just, she be whooping my ass and here go the proof.
And the thing too,
Ludin came with the whole story.
Right. And the thing too is like, Lou might not have pictures of her face being scratched up because if they was fighting, they was fighting. But baby, your face might have been scratched up, but maybe you lost that fight.
Mm-hmm.
You, like I said, if you going buck like you gonna do like you on them type of times with somebody, you got to get ready for whatever's coming.
Yeah.
So if she fought you, you provoked that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That is that's being provoked. And now
That's a fact.
we don't condone fighting, but if
Nah.
you start it,
you better be ready for whatever come after it.
exactly.
obviously, I did not expect a key to these first 3. No. And let's also be transparent. These first one, we weren't really making Tay and Lou money just yet. The second one,
Did
we
it
weren't really
rewind?
making Tan Lu money just yet. We were starting to make Tan Lu money when we lived in the last house with her ex and her ex's mother. However, I didn't need a key to that stuff. I know my place. I know how to play my role. I would not open my mouth and say, oh, I need a key here too. No, I went to that room and that room was my spot. That's what I did, okay? But those last two places, I just knew I had a key.
Okay, so this is where it cuts out. We'll be back when there's something to come back for.
And to make myself clear, when I say I was paying rent, I mean that I've been working on this Tan Lu channel with Tay. I have no other form of employment. That wasn't allowed in the beginning. None of that was allowed. I've only been working for her. I see none of this money. So if I'm working, is my part not paid? I accepted not seeing money because I trusted her. All I needed was her. However, when I say I paid rent, no, you guys, I want to make it clear. I did not give her physical rent money. However, I worked and I never saw any of the money. So if she's saying I had bills that I was racking up, food bills or any type of other bill, then I would assume the money that we were making together, it would have been handled. I don't know.
That's fucked up not to give that girl her money. That's messed up. That's messed up not to give her her money.
It is definitely to me a manipulative narcissist type of thing, because if you sometimes like
I had
narcissists
absolutely nothing, you guys. Look at the videos. Look at how she just kept glowing and glowing and glowing and glowing and leveling up. And honestly, I was stagnant. Look at my hair. You guys, I could only afford synthetic hair because I was not getting any money. She would not give me my own money to take personal care of my upkeep. She made sure to keep up with hers. And here's the thing. She would buy me things, you guys. But guess what? We'd argue and she'd take all of it back. She's bought me plenty, but she's taken every scrap back. The moment she gives it to me, not even if it's an hour later, if we get into a tiff, she'll take it back. Look at the videos. The proof is in the pudding.
All right, y'all. So we came to the second video. Hopefully we're not missing nothing important in the first video. You know, let us know if we do. We can go back and listen to it off camera. But yeah, let's get into this second video. Dang, I didn't realize I didn't make it. Let's get into the second video.
I just knew I'd had a key. You guys, I was with her for 6 years. I never had anything, not one key. And you guys, we were making thousands and thousands of dollars together. She gave me none of it. She gave me not one key to not one apartment. Every time we had a argument, you guys, our fight usually result, honestly, 9 times out of 10, because she took my phone. Because she would take my phone.
I would like
she would
to say
because
that
she
the
paid
stress of
for
our
it.
relationship
She's taking
probably
it.
was
Now, you guys, I never
agitation
understood it.
to her
I never
gambling,
understood it. You say you're the head of this
addiction.
household.
However,
you say you're
it was not her
daddy,
coming home
and I
to
need to
me
refer
every
to you as
day,
such.
me giving her hell, and then forcing her to go gamble. No, that was not the case. She made gambling a part of her life. She would be gone from day to night. One time I literally walked all the way to the nearest corner store so I can find a phone, because you guys, at this time we were arguing. I didn't have a
That's
phone
her talking on the
because
video.
she had not come home all night, and I thought the girl
Ain't
was
it? Oh no.
not on the planet anymore. But I knew she was at that casino, and I
Where
went
is
to
that
go
coming
check
from?
the casino, and she
The
was there.
first video. I must have forgot to pause it. Hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all.
However, you don't act like one. You act like a child. Every time we get into a regular argument, every time we get into a regular relationship argument, my phone was taken. You guys, everyone was used to not hearing from me for months. And no, she would not take my phone for months, but what she would do is she would take my phone, and then what will happen is it'll take days and days and days for me to get that phone back. And then once I finally get the phone back, then I have to work. Then I'm so emotionally distressed because I haven't spoken to nobody in 5 days, and I have to return all 5 text messages from all these people who check up on me every day. But no, my phone has been gone for 5 days, so I have to lie about this and lie about that. You guys, the thing was
You not taking my phone, and you damn sure not keeping it for 5 days.
You know, remember in video when she was
When
What
we
video?
reacted to that phone video,
yeah, and she was like,
and she said
she
something
said
about,
it was a prank, but
nah,
about her taking the phone or something like that, or you're not gonna be taking whatever she said.
you not gonna. I didn't give you this phone to do this.
Yeah,
that.
like
yeah.
See, it's statements like that make me want to be like, oh, you didn't, because don't talk to me like
I'm
don't
a
talk
child,
to me like I'm your
man.
child, and don't talk to me like I'm inferior to
Took
you.
that woman phone like she was on punishment. What?
If anything, that's what she should have fought you for too. She should have added that to the list. I would have fought you for that. I don't condone
The
violence.
phone.
Just throwing that out there.
She took it every single time. I used to hide it. I used to do everything because as soon as we started arguing, the moment I felt our argument was about to start, you guys, I would start to slowly tuck my phone somewhere. I will hide it in the refrigerator. I done hid my phone in, y'all, I've literally hid my phone in kitty litter. I remember it. I hid it in kitty litter because I knew once we get down, she's going to look for my phone. I knew she was going to look in that kitty litter, John, but y'all, she found it. She found it. She literally found it in the kitty litter. Anyway, that's neither here or there.
That's
I never
crazy,
had a
bro.
key anywhere, you guys. I was paying rent.
It's froze. I heard about people. I seen comments saying about it. The video freezing.
In that relationship to YouTube, I was not a partner. I was an employee and an unpaid one at that. I never had anything during our entire time of Tay and Lou. To sit up here and tell you guys that, but I'm sorry, I don't know if that messed up the video, but I was receiving a call. I'm recording this on my phone, you guys. It's very traumatic to tell you guys all the ins and outs of everything that I went through in this situation, because at the end of the day, I stayed. There was fighting continuously. You guys, I never want y'all to think whenever we had a happy moment, we did not fight. We fought continuously. And when I say fight, I'm not meaning, yeah. It started always as a yeah. And then someone would take my phone, or someone will Tay would take my phone or rip off my wig or aggress me in some type of way. And I told you guys every time, I'm going to show up and very well show out. So I want to make something clear also as we move on with this, because we still have a lot. You guys have a lot to see. I wanted to just first give you a feel of where I was mentally, where I had to be physically, in the hellhole that I lived in for 6 years. You guys didn't live it, and unless you've experienced something similar, me even explaining it to you give this no justice, none whatsoever, to the levels of control that she exerted over me. You guys can see it in the YouTube videos. It was worse within my personal life. I asked for everything. I have not watched the YouTube video that Tay has put out. I have not watched any of her streams that she's done since all of this has transpired. And I have not watched not one Instagram story. Now, what I have had is my closest people tell me verbatim what was going on. You guys, I don't care to see her face in any capacity. And honestly, mentally, I can't handle it. I can't handle seeing that. Even though I stand by those videos and everything she showed y'all, and we will be going over that soon. It's traumatic. It's humiliating. It's horrific. I don't want to see that, so I haven't watched it. But per what I've been told, apparently she is saying that I pushed her to a dark place and that made her gamble. When I met Tay, she was a gambler. She scratched off tickets. Every corner store, whenever we went to go get anything from out the corner store in Brooklyn, she got a ticket. This was a part of her personality when I first met her. We used to go to Vegas for Tay so that she can gamble. Tay is a happy gambler. She's not sad when she's gambling. She is sad when she loses. Very sad, very reactive, very, very.
I would be
A
sad
gambler that just lost, and the attitude is worse depending on the amount of money. But a gambler that lost is not a gambler you want to talk to.
Exactly,
especially if they're a serious gambler.
You're pissed off because you lost your own money.
Yeah.
And it's scary to be around when she loses. She's always been like that. I have never pushed her to a dark place to go gamble.
Froze. Well, if you see this, put your phone on airplane mode when you record.
Face after aggressing me and fighting with me, and told me that I have beat her up straight to my face. After having beat me up, after having started the fight. No, I take that back. I ain't gonna say I got beat up. No, After starting the fight and got pulled
Okay,
back.
you see how she had to
Yes,
readjust
girl.
I take that
herself?
back. I ain't gonna say I got beat up.
She
No.
was
Yes,
like, wait a
girl.
minute.
Starting the fight and got fought back, and then look me in my face and tell me I beat her up. She would look me in my face, you guys. She's not just looking at y'all and telling y'all that. This is the extent of this girl's mental. She would look me in my face then and tell me I just beat her. And you guys, when you're being told something over and over and over again, y'all, you start to believe it. And I never thought I would be a woman like that, but you start to believe it. I used to be on the phone with my best friend and my mom and my sister like, am I beating her ass? Am I the problem? And you guys, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to take that title as an abuser. I will take the title as a fighter. I will take the as a reactor. I will take all of that. However, no, this woman has been a gambler. Before I met her, she came to me with these gambling habits. While we were together, she gambled away all of our Tay and Lou money. And I would say our, because we made that money. We made that money. But let her tell it, I made none of that money with her. And you guys will see in that receipts that I made none of that money with her. I never saw any of it, so she had all control of it. Her being in these holes is because she was gambling away the money. And she's been doing it for years, and I've had no control over it. I was too afraid to step up to her and say, don't. And when I would, it will turn into a fight. It will turn into a fight. I cannot tell that woman nothing. That woman is not afraid of me in any way, and my receipts also would show that. I loved her, but I should have loved her enough to leave her when I saw that we weren't going to.
Should have loved yourself enough.
Exactly.
And she should have loved herself enough. Both of y'all should have loved yourselves enough to say, we need to let this thing go before it get any worse than this.
Right, because personally, they both have issues, skeletons, demons in their closet that they have to deal with. And gambling is something that Lou is not going to be able to help Tay with. That is something Tay has to do with herself. Lou, Tay is not going to be able to help you with whatever situation you have with your daughter. That's an internal situation you have with yourself. You will need therapy for that. You will need to talk to somebody, and talking to a gambler is not the one, the person to do it. Y'all both should have took that time and been mature and loved yourselves enough to say, I have to focus and work on me. Right. And you need to work on you. And maybe once we get to that point, maybe somewhere in the future we'll come back
as brand new people.
Exactly.
But right now, this ain't it.
Exactly.
Mix well, because apparently she wanted someone to just sit down and be quiet and let them do anything. So now what I'm going to do is say it is receipt time. I am going to now be addressing the current videos, even though I've already told y'all. First of all, I need to make this very clear. The drinking. I drink. I enjoy drinking.
As do I.
drink. However, everything she's shown y'all on those videos, those are partial truths. Completely partial truths. Manipulated, but partial. Because I tell you guys right now, every bottle that was in that house she bought. I had no money for bottles. I had no funds. So whatever bottle she brought in that house, she would regulate my drinking. Even though I would look at it as cute in the beginning, towards the end it was freaking mind-boggling because she can pick and choose whenever she wants to drink, but I can't pick and choose whenever I wanted to drink. And I asked her about it. Oh, well, when you do it, we end up fighting. When she'd do it, we'd end up fighting. We'd end up fighting whether we were drinking or not. However, my levels of drunkenness all depended on the bottle to which that was brought in that house by Tay, and we drank that together. I was never allowed, you guys, to go to the liquor store by myself and choose a bottle by myself and bring it back to that house. I was not allowed to. She controlled it all. And if you guys look at our TikTok streams in the beginning, you would see she would always pour the shots. She would control it all. And what she would say is, oh, you can't control yourself. You can't do that. You can't do that. And she shows you guys these things, and y'all like, oh, no, you can't control yourself. Oh, no, I can control myself very well. I'm actually quite fun at times. However, if you're drinking with me, Tay, and we're both drinking the same amount of liquor, because you are giving this to us. You guys, I'm a different stature than this woman. liquor affects everyone differently.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a fact.
if I'm slurring and she isn't slurring, that does not mean she was not drinking no less or no more.
Facts.
We both drank together as a couple. That's what we did. It was a
Yep.
part of the aesthetic of our relationship. We drank. So her just saying, "Oh, I was a drunk. I was a drunk." I guess we were drunks because she drank right along with me. And the only time she got upset is whenever I fight her back. And then all of a sudden, "Oh, you drink too much." Well, you were drinking with me. If my drinking was such an issue, why would she keep on drinking with me on every stream? If she was so afraid that I would turn into this monster as soon as I started drinking, because that's what she told me as to why I wasn't allowed to get my own liquor, because I didn't want nobody pouring every shot for me, because I know I won't get crazy as long as you don't pop crazy. No, you can't do that. It was all up to her, you guys. She controlled the alcohol. And also, I heard that she said that she would find that I was hiding bottles in places, and she was not lying about that either. Yes, the little bit y'all used to scrape together quarters and stuff like that. Why? Because she would just be walking around the house, enjoying herself, you guys. I was depressed in that room by myself. I wanted to drink. I was fighting every other day. I was miserable. I was missing my daughter. And mind you, even when we came here, the same thing was happening. Yes, I would sneak off to the liquor store. I would buy a little nip and I would tuck it away, hoping that she would not find it. The same way I would tuck away my phone, hoping that she would not find it. So yeah, she is correct with me hiding it, because I did not want her to see it and then say, "Oh," and then we start fighting again. Everything was a fight. So no, I wanted to be able to drink by myself in peace in order to do it. Hold on one second. My daughter's knocking on my door. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what my receipts are going to show you. These receipts can show you something totally different, but I want to tell you what it's going to give, and then I will be uploading the receipts. I will be pausing it, like I said, so you guys can screenshot it, read it yourself, and then I will be explaining what it is that you guys saw. The first receipt will show that I was not...
Do you want to just leave the receipts in this video, or we could just leave it in this video since it's in this video?
Yeah.
begging her in any type of way. I did not beg her
Do I
to
need to
do
move
any
this a
type of
little bit?
YouTube videos
No.
in any manner. I did not beg for her presence, her friendship, or anything. The receipt will definitely be showing you that. And let me add, the reason why this receipt is showing that is because apparently she's saying that I begged her to do these YouTube videos. I forced her to do the breakup videos. The receipts will be showing that was not the case at all. The receipts will also show that I was not reaching out to her in any type of way, that it was actually the complete opposite. Seeing as though she lost control of me, she started to reach out to me ridiculously. The receipts will show that I never reached out to her in any overt way or any way, really. I didn't do so. The receipts will show it, even though she's saying that's what I've been doing. The receipts will show that she insisted me, her abuser, the person who abuses and beats her up, the person she's afraid of, the receipts will show that she insisted severely that I live with her and that we continue to work and to do TikToks and mukbangs. However, anyway, the receipt is going to show that. And lastly, it's kind of the same thing as the first one. This is pretty much just going to show you guys that she pretty much lied to you all in the YouTube video. And also she twisted the truth with the Instagram post. Like I said, I stand by those posts. Yes, we were drinking together. However, I just was not off and beating her. We were always fighting, and there was always something going on in our house. She was not getting beat. However, I'm sorry, you guys, and not getting beat and such. However, the last receipt is going to show you the temperament of what it was given, the truth. I was not reaching out to this woman. I had nothing to do with her. After she made the situation what it was, I made my decision and I left. I did not reach out to her. I did not plan on exposing anything negative about her. I had no idea I would ever be doing anything like this. However, here we are. Please watch these receipts, pause them, read them, and then I will be going over them with you.
What I can say is the videos that I have seen of Tay and Lou, because I have seen a couple of their videos before, and Tay was always the happier, giddier one.
Yeah.
You know, like she was always either like excited or like just super happy or something. And Lou was just always just kind of chill, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
just like whatever kind of basically. So I do want to go back. I am gonna go back and watch some videos.
Yeah, see that
I'm gonna go back and watch some videos.
Tay give me that when she get drunk, like her be like you saying, she was always the happy giddy one. Some people when they drink become extra friendly and more beboppy and stuff, and some people that drink they just more mellow.
And some people get mean.
Exactly, and some people get mean.
I'm kind of like all three.
It's
I don't get mean to baby.
No lie
I
there.
just I
mean to everybody else, even people that ain't there.
The what? Okay, now you tripping. Let's get into these
Just
receipts.
kidding.
What happened? Play. Is it froze?
It must be because the number's not moving. Oh, we might have to watch that on the.
Shit is every.
All right. So instead of going through this and having to skip and stuff like that, I'm not sure if Luce said anything else in this video, but from my understanding, she posted all the receipts in a different video. Yeah, cause see it blacks out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So let us know what you think about this video down in the comments below. The next video will be the receipts of everything that Lou has to drop receipts on. I'm still not taking sides, but I completely and truly believe everything that Lou is saying.
Yep.
I do believe that Tay tried to take the worst part of Lou and expose it without exposing herself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she made sure to do it first.
Yeah. And she might have thought that Lou wouldn't have receipts since she always had her phone.
Yeah.
But you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I
believe Lou.
My insides is telling me that what Lou is saying is true.
Yeah.
And that whenever I watch Tay videos, I just feel like it's animated or it's something
just ain't right about
right.
it. Yeah. But yeah, man, let us know what y'all think about this whole situation down in the comments below. You know what time it is. We are on to the next one. We out. Peace.